Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. The most important news and editorial of the day that is relevant for both prelims and mains examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with news topic list. Today is 4th of July. The first news is panel call for boosting protein and nutrients in the government meal program. Second, GST decision upsets the dairy farmers. The increase in the GST for the dairy products has raised the concern. Third, IIT Bombay course on the caste awareness. This is again important to sensitize people against the caste. Fourth, GI tag, Mayur Bang, superfood and chutney. We'll see the detail because this type of news is again relevant for your prelims examination. And the last is an editorial, an urgent national plan on electrical safety. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And if you are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to press a like button. So the first news of the day, that is panels start for boosting protein nutrition in the government meal program, something important for general studies paper 2, that is government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from it, design and implementations. So an interministerial committee has recently recommended for boosting protein and nutritional requirement in the government meal program. और ये जो interministerial committee थी that include official from Ministry of Food and Consumer Affairs, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Women and Child Development, Ministry of Education और कुछ expert scientist भी लिए गए इसमें जो कि ICMR के थे, that is Indian Council for Medical Research and Food Safety Standard Authority of India. Now क्या क्या recommendations दी हैं panel ने? The panel has suggested an urgent actions needed to address the problem that was already cited in the NFHS survey, that is National Family Health Survey की जो data recent में release की गई थी, it was latest released. I have discussed the National Family Health Survey in the video. If you have not watched it, do check it out. तो यहाँ पे कुछ important बातों को highlight की गई थी इस सर्वे में, which include rates of child undernutrition, stunning and wasting in most cases, increase in the prevalence of anemia among the pregnant women and those of the reproductive ages. Now it recommended new standard of kilocalorie, that is a protein per meal, along with the fixed proportion intake of micronutrients for all category of beneficiaries and the food item required to achieve those standards. The committee ने further ये observe किया that during COVID-19 pandemic we have seen that the situation has worsened and they have aggregated the silent crisis of the undernutrition in India. Why? Because the food supply was halted due to the restrictions and lockdown. The committee further noted that the protein-rich food like eggs, nuts, legumes, as well as the micronutrients like calcium, iron, zinc, folate and vitamin E. तो ये कुछ ऐसे माइक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट्स हैं जिनकी एसेंशियलिटी ज़रूरत पड़ेगी और इनको लीगल मैंडेट में लाने की बात की गई, राइट? सो mandated in the meals given through the food safety program in the school and Anganwadis by revising the Schedule 2 of the National Food Security Act. Very, very important point. If you're writing in mains paper, even you can highlight this. Now, some concern that was also being highlighted after the decision that has come, because the committee has called for the inclusion of egg, right? And in the food safety net, it has been promoted. बहुत सारे ऐसे states हैं जिन्होंने अपने religious group को ध्यान में रखते हुए eggs को नहीं लाने की बात की गई, right? Currently, egg served as a midday meal in 13 states and 3 UT as a part of additional food items. It is served with the frequency varying from 5 days to a week to once a month. Now the states and UT bear the cost of the supplementary provisions. जो supplementary provisions होते हैं उसके लिए जो expenses हैं वो state government भी bear करती है. Now जो National Food Security Act है उसकी क्या concern है, क्या worrisome है, अगर बात करें when actually it started way back in 2013. So National Food Security Act start की गई इस टाइम पे, and it desired आउटकम हैज़ नॉट बीन अचीव्ड येट. अगर प्रैक्टिकली बात करें, जितनी टारगेट्स उसकी सेट थी वो अचीव नहीं हो पाई. ना नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे 5 has saw a worrisome trend in increasing the malnutrition anemia in many states, right? Persistence level of undernutrition despite rapid economic growth remains the single big public health problem in our country. Now call for a change in the National Food Security Act. क्या क्या changes की बात की गई? I've told you in the beginning. Schedule 2 में changes की गई, so that the National Food Security Act lay down the nutritional standard for the government food safety program like midday meal, PM Poshan Abhiyan, integrated child development services scheme. तो जो शेड्यूल 2 है उसमें चेंजेस लाए जाएंगे ताकि इन सारे स्कीम्स में प्रॉपर इम्प्लीमेंटेशन हो सके. Currently, it quantifies nutritional per meal in terms of calorie, protein only, but the interministerial panel has called for a micronutrients to be taken into the account. Now, the other news, GST decision upset dairy farmers, something important for General Studies Paper 3, Indian economy and issues related to planning, mobilization, resource growth and development. So the decision by the GST Council in the recent 47th meeting, which was held in Chandigarh, which come up to impose 5% tax on the dairy products such as pre-packed, pre-labeled lassi and buttermilk. This increase also called for an increasing of 12%. बेसिकली अगर बात करें जो डेयरी मशीनरी है उसमें 12% तक और रेट इंक्रीज की जाएगी, एंड मिल्क प्रोडक्ट्स जो मिल्किंग प्रोडक्ट है वो 18% तक. That has taken a criticism from the stakeholders, and I personally feel that this rate was not substantiated by the government, right? Although it was being decided that 28% जो रेट है कसिनोज, गैम्बलिंग और इतने जितने सारे प्रोडक्ट्स हैं उन पे की जाएंगी, बट उन पे ना करके गवर्नमेंट ने इन पे रेट बढ़ाई है, विच इज इम्पैक्टिंग अ हाउस होल्ड. एवरी हाउस होल्ड इन इंडिया यूजेस डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स. तो क्या ये जायज़ है इस टाइम पे? और क्या इस टाइम पे व्हेन वी आर ऑलमोस्ट रिकवरिंग फ्रॉम द पेंडेमिक, the economic recession that we have seen? So I think this is an earliest decision taken by the government. We are not commenting on that part, but this can be delayed for an year or so. Now, various cooperatives are waiting for notifications for the center to take steps, while farmers are fearing that the decision will result in increasing the price of the product. Definitely, if the price increase, that will mount to the higher prices, and the inflation to some extent will also rise because dairy product is used in many of the product item that has been used in each and every household. Now, impact of the decision की अगर बात करें, the impact of 5% tax on the dairy products will be on the consumer as well as the price will increase. The increase on the GST on the dairy machinery will also be a direct impact on the price of the milk. Officially जो cooperative उन्होंने कहा है that the price of the milk product will be increased with the imposition of the tax. Definitely they will have to increase it. There's no way out that they can sustain it. Now the tax rate on the Tetra Pak has been also received increased by the government from 12% to 18%. तो ये भी rate increase किए government ने, which is again going to impact for all the Tetra Pak foods. Now, IIT Bombay courses on caste awareness, something again very important, and you have to use this in General Studies Paper 4 in ethics, right? Although it is important for General Studies Paper 2, that is welfare schemes for the vulnerable section of the population by the centers and the state. So, the Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, planned to introduce a mandatory course on caste awareness, and this is one of the initiatives taken by the SC/ST cell of the institute, which believes that sensitization is a way out for the inclusivity and even for the people who were actually feeling inferiority complex, उनके लिए भी एक empowerment की issue होगी. Now, latest survey में क्या पाया गया? According to the Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, it has found that the STSC cell has recently conducted a few surveys to understand the difficulty faced by the student in line of the caste divisions. So some of the observation made by the survey on holding the more sensitization event, having a mandatory academy course on caste, radical discriminations on the line of mandatory gender sensitization that was launched last year. Now, open house discussion की गई recently. जो IIT बॉम्बे है उन्होंने एक ऐसी कॉन्सेप्ट लाई जहाँ पे ओपन हाउस डिस्कशन को प्रमोट किया गया एंड दिस डिस्कशन ऑन द वेरियस डिफिकल्टीज दैट इज फेस्ड on the context of caste and the reason behind it, right? So it was an open house discussion where the problem can be discussed, problem can be, no, it is an open end discussion where everyone is welcome to forecast their problem and even to get a resolution, right? तो अपनी प्रॉब्लम अपनी बातों रखने के लिए ये एक बहुत ही अच्छी प्लेटफॉर्म है जो कि वहाँ पे स्टार्ट की गई. The met witness is a variety of opinion. Around 100 participants were there. According to the student who participated in the open house discussion, spoke about how there's no homogeneity in the different way they're experiencing the caste, and this is a true fact in India. Still, the caste is a dominant part. Now, mentorship program was also there. So the STSSL of the IIT Bombay has come up with a mentorship program with junior student interact closely with the junior SC/ST student in context of the objective of the cell to move further towards campus free of caste and radical discriminations, right? तो जितनी भी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन है उनको हटाने के लिए एक मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम लाई गई है जहाँ पे जो सीनियर्स है वो जूनियर्स को ट्रेन करेंगे एंड दे विल मेक देम comfortable about the fact that how they can also be the part of the mainstream society. Now, GI tags, Mayur Bhang's superfood ant chutney. This is again something very much relevant for your prelims examination. This is not important for mains at all. Mains में आपसे इस तरह के सवाल कभी नहीं पूछे जाएंगे, but prelims में ये इस तरह की चीजें काफी important हो जाती हैं. Important for General Studies Paper 3, Conservation, Environmental Pollution, Degradation, EI. In Odisha, a scientist has now fine-tuned their research to make presentation for the geographical indication that is the registry of Kai Chitni. This is from Odisha. Make sure you take a note of this, important for the prelims. Weaver internets, जो कि Oiphylla samagardina के family से आती है, this is the name of the particular ant, is abundantly found in the Mayurbhanj throughout the year, and they make nest with leaves on the host of the tree. So you can see this is how it actually look like, and people in Odisha and even to some parts of Chhattisgarh, they use it as a chutney, which is again considered to be have a medicinal properties. I'll discuss that also. So applied under the category, GI will be helping to help a hygiene protocol, which will be preparation for the Kai chutney and standard for the wider use. और GI की बात करें जो GI labeling की जाती है, this will enhance the reputations for the value of local products and support the business. Once it is given the GI recognitions, तो जो लोग इससे associated हैं उनको भी कहीं ना कहीं recognitions मिलती है, उनके livelihood options और बढ़ते हैं. Nutritional values की अगर बात करें, so the Kai chutney, which is rich in protein, calcium, zinc, vitamin B12, iron, magnesium, potassium, sodium, copper, fiber, and 80 amino acids are present. This is highly nutritional, and this is known to boost the immune system and keeps the disease at a peak. For Odisha tribe, this is makes for weavers for the ant for cure a mini illness, which is known to boost the immune system and keeps disease at the peak. So this is how it is helping out. Now moving to the editorial of the day, that is Urgent National Plan on Electrical Safety, something important for General Studies Paper 2. That is infrastructure, energy, ports, road, airport, railway, etc. And this is again important for General Studies Paper 2 and the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementations. So what I'll be discussing under this editorial, there are 5 important subheads. First is rising fatalities, electrical accidents in India, safety check balances की अगर बात करें, we'll see that also, implementation of the current safety regulations and the way forward. The entire editorial focuses upon the national plan on electrical safety. So there's a reason to be proud for the growth of the Indian power sector since independence. We have although achieved a milestone, बट अभी अगर बात करें कुछ सिग्निफिकेंट बातों की, बेसिकली जो एक्सीडेंट्स हैं उनके बारे में भी इस एडिटोरियल में ध्यान दी गई है. बट बिफोर गेटिंग टू द बैकग्राउंड ऑफ इट, so there are significant growth in the infrastructure, nearly all household on the electricity connection amid the promise that government is providing 24/7 electricity supply and achieving the net zero emissions target by 2070. ऑल्दो 24/7 की जो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी है इंडिया में सारे जगह पे नहीं है अभी भी, प्रैक्टिकली अगर आप देखिए दिस इज नॉट द केस, राइट? सो वी हैव टू स्ट्रेंथन दिस सो दैट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी सप्लाई इज थ्रू आउट द कंट्री पैन इंडिया 24/7। राइजिंग फर्टिलिटीज़ की बात की गई है, किस तरह से जो इलेक्ट्रिकल फर्टिलिटीज़ है वो बढ़ रही हैं। एज पर द रिकॉर्ड विच इज़ कमिंग फ्रॉम द नेशनल क्राइम रिकॉर्ड ब्यूरो, the number of fatalities and the rate of deaths, that is per lakh populations, due to electric shocks and fire has been steadily increasing over the years. Now from 2957, that is 2957 death, that is, and 0.6 death per lakh population in 1990, it has increased a toll up to 15,258, right? तो ये numbers काफ़ी ज़्यादा पहले से बढ़ चुके हैं, and the data from the Central Electricity Authority conveys that same story in terms of increasing the fertility data. Now, it is worth mentioning that many developed countries, the number of death has been reduced over the years, and death per lakh population is like order of 0.3, or which is low. जो इलेक्ट्रिकल एक्सीडेंट्स हैं इन इंडिया में उसकी क्या क्या नंबर्स हैं, हाउ इट इज इम्पैक्टेड. सो जोग्राफिकली मोस्ट ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रिकल accident appears to be taking place in the rural areas compared to the urban areas, and even considering the rapid urbanizations, poor locals जो हैं वो इसमें सबसे ज़्यादा impacted होते हैं. In electrical terms, most accidents occur in the distribution system and non-industrial consumer locations. Most fatalities occur in the distribution network and low tensions consumer locations, therefore need a higher attention. Definitely, all the stakeholders and government need to take a consideration for this. Now, some data that will help you understand कि किस तरह से numbers increase हो रही हैं. For 2015-16, this is the number. For again, this is the number of the people electrocuted against the near doubles, right? So the current, for this is data for 2018-19, this is 1120. And the number of the people dying because of the electric shock is again alarming. For current, like this is till 2015, this is 9,986, which is, although अगर आप बात करें अभी present में 2020 के, this is close to 15,000, right? Now, electrocutions due to accident contract with the live conductors, an immediate cause for accident in the majority of the cases. We have seen open wire. Another problem is causing the electrocutions to the people. The second measure is the fire due to electrical faults, which account for almost 12% of the accident. Poor design, construction, inadequate maintenance, inadequate protection system, and the lack of safety awareness are some of the root cause of the problem. Now, safety check and balances की अगर बात करें, there are safety regulation prepared by the CE, and all electricity utility are expected to follow it, but there is no mechanism to ensure कि ये यूटिलिटी फॉलो हो रही है. अभी भी प्रॉब्लम्स देखी गई है. डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कंपनीज आर एक्सपेक्टेड टू हैव अ सेफ्टी ऑफिसर्स टू कंडक्ट द periodic safety and audit, which is not being done regularly. Now, these are not being done for revenue collections, and fault repair are high priority for the company. इलेक्ट्रिकल इंस्पेक्शंस की अगर बात करें जो स्टेट की ड्यूटी होती है, इवन एक्सपेक्टेड टू इम्प्रूव द कनेक्शन लाइसेंस इलेक्ट्रिशियन एंड कंडक्ट इंक्वायरीज ऑफ द रेजिडेंट, बट अभी वो इतनी ज़्यादा अंडर स्टाफ्ड हैं कि ये प्रॉब्लम भी सॉल्व नहीं हो पा रही. सो देयर इज अ मैन पावर क्रंच ऑल्सो विच हैज़ लेड not to the fullest implementations of all the rules and procedures coming from the Central Electricity Authority. Now, implementations of the current safety regulations की अगर बात करें, the implementation of the current safety regulation regime can be significantly tightening through the better data collections, which will help government to even formulate a better policy, introducing the safety aspects of the national program, strengthening the safety institutions, मैन पावर की जो क्रंच है उनको बढ़ाया जाए, और एक प्रॉपर स्टेट ऑफ आर्ट टेक्नोलॉजी को भी इंकॉर्पोरेट किया जाए. डेवलपिंग सेफ्टी मैट्रिक्स फॉर द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कंपनीज, evolving publics and professional in the safety initiatives, and utilizing technological innovations, which is at the part जो state of art technology है वो हर जगह पे यूज होनी चाहिए, not only for the urban areas but also for the rural areas. Now, the way forward, or even if you're writing in mains paper, how you can conclude this, the need of the hour in the national program is to reduce the electrical accident in the distribution sector with clean scope of the work, sufficient resources allocations, robust monitoring and verification mechanism. The electrical safety is a public interest challenge which can meet only through the coordinated action involving all the stakeholders, and hence any attempt to reduce the accident must include safety of a general public as a top priority. So this is how the government, the stakeholders, and even we as an individual need to cautions that how we can make people aware. Awareness is a key that we can basically reduce the number of fatalities coming from the electricity. तो ये कुछ ऐसे पॉइंट्स होंगे जो अपने मेंस पेपर में भी इंक्लूड कर पाएंगे. Now moving ahead with the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For first question, the correct option is C. For second question, the correct option is B. This is for the Saturday questions. Now today's MCQ for the day, that is National Institution Ranking के बारे में आपको बताना है, framework के बारे में. नीति आयोग established the NIRF in September 2015, and this is a framework which outlined the methodology to rank institution across the country, right? There are other ranking also, but for India precisely, we have this ranking. So do check it out, which among the following is the correct options. The second is new umbrella entities on the retail payments. Only the entities that are owned and controlled by the Indian citizen and are at least 3 years of experience of the payment segment can become the promoters of the NUEs. No foreign investment is allowed to follow NUE existing guideline. So do check it out for the correct option. This is the initiative by the Reserve Bank of India, or basically you have to check that because this can be again significant for your prelims and as well as means examination. So this was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.